Hey guys, this is from the present road, Fermin and Siori. So what are we going to talk about today, Siori?
So we get asked a lot of things went wrong on our trip, like what hardships did we face and mistakes did we make, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Before starting the trip, one of the most common advice that we read was to not overpack. So we tried our best to research everything that we would need, the absolute bare minimalist, and even with all this research, we still overpacked. So clearly it's super easy to do. Thankfully, we had some really good friends who were able to bring stuff home for us, so thank you, friends. You know who you are. But definitely underpack, because in the worst case, you can always buy stuff wherever you go.
You can buy a lot of stuff out there.
Yeah, and it'll be fun.
So another mistakes that we made is when we're on the bus, especially when we were in Ecuador, most of their bus is just blasting AC.
Oh, it's so cold.
Yeah. My hoodie or my jacket was in my backpack. So that was a mistake that I made, and which never made it again, because bus out there are sometimes really cold, especially in a hot area.
Yes, exactly, because you paid a little bit more for that air conditioning, and you were just
But it's blasting. It's really cold.
Another thing is not having Band-Aids with you. So maybe you bought them and you have them back at the hotel room or in your hostel, but you just don't have any in your day pack. And it's such a small thing to carry, and when you have Band-Aids and you just put it on a new blister, it'll prevent it from getting worse. We definitely made that mistake. When you're walking around so much, you end up with these giant blisters just because you didn't have anything to protect them.
Another big mistake that we made is not having a tissue paper. A lot of places in Asia, Southeast Asia, they don't usually provide toilet paper. So make sure you bring one. Or you can buy it too while you're there.
Yeah, for sure, but you definitely want to have some on you at all times.
Yeah.
We normally try to arrive during the day to any new destinations or places that are notorious for being dangerous. And we do that even more so now because we learned our lesson in Colombia. We were arriving to Medellin and our flight was late and our bus took longer than we had read it would take to get into the city, which meant we missed the metro. The metro had already closed for the day, and we were dropped off in this really sketchy area.
Yeah.
So thankfully nothing happened, and we were able to Uber out of there for a very reasonable rate, but we absolutely suggest don't arrive late if you can help it.
So if you carry electronics, we carried our phone and we also had an external battery. Make sure you charge all the time, as much as you can. It's better to overcharge than undercharge.
Yes.
You never know, your next destination may not have enough power to actually charge your batteries or your phone.
A big mistake that we made was assuming that some forms of transportation run later than they did. For example, we were in Israel on a Friday and we knew that the bus was going to stop earlier than normal, but we just didn't realize how early. So we had to take a bus from the Dead Sea back to Jerusalem, and the last bus that we could catch was like at 12 p.m., which is quite early. Now, we thankfully barely made that bus, but we should have checked much earlier when the last bus for that day was. Yeah. So don't assume because you're in a country that maybe feels like home or like that feels like it runs like home, that things run like at home. Always check.
Yeah. Check your schedule. When we were in Nepal, we actually didn't have enough local cash to give our guide the tip. So make sure you check that you always have enough local money.
Yeah. So to clarify, we always had US dollars on us, but we just didn't have local money. And so we ended up tipping him in dollars, which ended up being better for him, but we didn't know that at the time. This last one is incredibly embarrassing to admit, but we just completely forgot to check for the exchange rate when we traveled to Bali. Bali was our first stop in Indonesia, and if you've been to Indonesia, they use like hundreds of thousands of rupiah for is like $1. I don't know what the exchange is right now, but we got to the airport and we were going to withdraw, and all of a sudden we didn't even know how much $100 was, and we had to withdraw like 1,000,000 rupiah. Yeah. And we weren't sure if that was too much or too little.
We became a millionaire in an instant.
Instant, so fast. So thankfully the airport had Wi-Fi and we were able to check because it's such a popular airport, but this isn't true of every airport out there. So definitely check what the exchange rate is, especially if you're going to be withdrawing as soon as you arrive. these are our top rookie mistakes that we made on this trip. We probably made more mistakes, but that's what we can think of. If you have any of your own that you want to share, please leave them in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you.
If you like this video, please like us and please subscribe.
We post travel related videos every Tuesday. We'll see you next time.
Ciao.